I feel like you want to. Okay. So combining like terms, by the way, I would never show combining like terms like this. Again, this is a very nerdy way to show combining like terms. If I were to combine like terms, I would take the 5x's and 2x's as you've seen, and I'd say how many x's do we got? 5 plus 2. See, and this is just a different way to show the same exact thing. This is 7. Okay. Now some of you would say you just factored out the 5 and 2. Okay. Or I factored out the x. Oh, okay. So sorry, that's pretty nerdy of me. I apologize. In any case, so this one right here, this is like saying, think about it like this, okay? If you had 4x's plus 3x's, you could just say, how many x's do you got? 4 plus 3, right? Oh, crap. 4 plus 3, which is 7. This is the same idea. It's just now instead of an x, it's an x plus 1 right there. And you can do that because they're factors, right? So x would be a factor of this term. X plus 1 now is a factor of this term. Now, be careful, because some students are like, I want to distribute so bad the 4 and the 3 right there. That's not what I'm trying to get to. You could. I just don't want you to do that right now. I'm just trying to get you in the idea that you can combine these like terms. 4 and 3 of these would be 7 of them, right? And then you could distribute just once. Maybe that last part is not really what I want there, but this is kind of what we're looking at, right? So the same principle applies when we would make a polynomial of the 4 and the 3. Yeah. So what's going to happen here is maybe this 4 has an x right there, okay? So again, we're going to say, let's split it up. And then I'm purposely going around FOIL because I hate FOIL. What? Okay, so that last part, this is what I'm talking about right here, right? So we're looking at that stuff of combining like terms now just kind of in reverse. So like this 4x right here, we're going to take it and multiply it by this full other, it's binomial. It could be a trinomial, maybe it's even a monomial, it doesn't matter. You can distribute this 4x into this other binomial, but we're going to do the same thing with the 3, right? Now I'm showing it deliberately as 2 separate multiplications right here just to relate it to what we just saw. Again, some students, and if you do prefer this, again, I never require one specific strategy. But some students are like first, and that's what I'm getting to right here. Some students say, there's my firsts, there's my outers, there's my innards, and then lasts. So all that multiplication kind of skips down to this line, and then you get this one. And then usually those two middle terms, usually you can combine them, although not always. So just, FOIL is great, first, outer, inner, last. It is convenient, but again, if you're like, I just like the distribution thing, all right, because that's really what's happening with all this. I would prefer not to say FOIL and just say, look, distribute and be done with it. So, all right, so here we go, right? Now, I'm gonna do something that looks like FOIL, but I prefer to call it distribution. I don't really care what you call it though, all right? So I'm gonna distribute the 2x to the 4x first. After that, then I will distribute it to the 4. But first, let's just distribute 2x to the 4x. Distribution is always multiplication. So right here, 2 times 4 is 8. And then we have x times x, which would be x squared. You could just say, I've got x to the power of 1 twice, add the 2 ones in the exponents, and call it x squared. It's the same thing. Next up, we've got the 2x times just the positive 4. And it is okay for that to happen. Some students say that those aren't like terms that you can combine. Well, if we were adding, that's true, but we're multiplying now. So I'd say 2 plus 4 is positive 8, so there's my positive sign. And then there's just the individual x. Now I will distribute, this is a negative 2. Negative 2. I meant for these to kind of fall underneath each other, but here we go. Negative 2 times 4x's would be negative 8x's. In my heart, something feels like it's off, but it looks like we're good. Yeah. And then finally, just negative 2 times 4, which is the constant negative 8. So we have a 4-term polynomial, and we have these two like terms on the inside. How many x is that? 8 minus 8, boom, 0 x's. So now I've got 8x squared, we'll call it a plus 0x, and then minus 8. Personally, I'm okay with this because it does declare how many x's there are, but on the assignment, it's likely that they won't accept 0x because it's not fully simplified. So yeah, I know. Here we go, some extra writing for us. I hope we can, deal with it, but I don't know.
Will you accept